God says this is an urgent message meant only for your spirit at this exact moment, and I am guiding your eyes to read every word because nothing in your life is accidental. God says, I order you to open this now because the timing is not normal. It is an emergency, and the identity of the person who has tried to harm you is finally revealed. You have waited in silence, you have wondered why certain energies around you felt heavy, and you have questioned why your spirit felt restless. Today is the day I lift the veil. Tonight before 11:55 p.m., you will understand exactly why I have pushed you to open this message. God says that every breath you take while reading these words is protected. Nothing is going wrong with you. Nothing is collapsing. Nothing is happening to harm you because God has already surrounded you with a wall of divine protection. You are safe, deeply safe, safer than you have ever been, because Heaven's eye is fixed on you right now. God says He has seen what others did not see. He has watched the whispers behind your back, the jealousy in someone's heart, the secret bitterness that someone carried whenever you succeeded, whenever you smiled, whenever light rested on your life. God says that the identity of this person who wanted to harm you is not random, and it will shock you, but before the shock comes the blessing, before the exposure comes the elevation. And before the revelation comes your spiritual protection. God says that this message is not sent to scare you but to free you. You have walked with a burden on your shoulders that you didn't even realize you were carrying. You kept pushing through life with strength that didn't even feel like your own some days. God says that strength came from Him. He carried you when you didn't have the energy to keep going. He lifted your head when the people around you tried to break your spirit. He held your heart together when someone tried to break it with lies, envy, or manipulation. God says every tear you hid from the world has been counted. Every night you slept with heaviness in your chest has been seen. Every moment you doubted yourself has been heard. God says, you are not alone. You were never alone. You will never be alone. I am walking with you through this message right now. You are safe. You are protected. You are watched over. God says that the person who wanted to harm you was never more powerful than his protection. Their intentions were dark, but their actions were blocked. Their plans were sharp, but God dulled every blade. Their heart carried malice, but God filled your path with so much light that their darkness could not enter your life. God says that this person's identity has been kept hidden from you because the time was not right. If He had revealed it too early, you would have reacted from pain instead of wisdom. You would have been hurt instead of enlightened. You might have faced them directly instead of letting God handle it. But now, God says the time has come, and the name is ready to be revealed, not to frighten you, but to set you free. The very moment their identity comes to your spirit, something inside you will click. You will suddenly understand why certain situations happened the way they did. You will understand why you felt drained around certain people. You will understand why your blessings were blocked whenever you were connected to certain energies. God says that clarity is coming to you in a wave, strong, undeniable, and divinely timed. God says that this person who wanted to harm you operates from insecurity, from frustration, from a spiritual emptiness they never healed. They resented your growth, not because you did anything wrong, but because your light exposed the things inside them they were unwilling to fix. God says you did not deserve that energy, and you did not deserve the spiritual attacks that were aimed at you. But every attack missed because heaven stood between you and everything sent to break you. God says, I covered you. I shielded you. I did not allow harm to enter your life. I am the God who protects even before you know you need protection. God says the name of this person is already moving toward your awareness. Some part of you might have suspected them before. Some part of you might have felt uneasy around them, walked away from conversations with a strange heaviness, or felt drained after interacting with them. God says that was not your imagination. That was spiritual discernment. That was the Holy Spirit warning you, guiding you, protecting you. God says you must trust that inner voice more. You must trust the feeling that rises in your spirit when something is not right. You must trust the signs that God sends before trouble arrives. God says that tonight, before 11:55 p.m., the truth will be revealed. You will know who it is. The name will not shock you because of who they are, but because of how silently they moved. God says, do not fear the truth. Fear nothing. Fear no one. When I am with you, nothing can touch you, nothing can defeat you, nothing can overpower you. God says this exposure is part of your elevation. Heaven is rearranging your life. Doors that were closed will open. Blessings that were delayed will accelerate. Opportunities that were blocked will unlock. God says that the spiritual attack was not meant to destroy you but to identify you. It marked you as chosen, protected, and destined. God says the battle you didn't see has already been won. The danger you didn't know about has already been defeated. The harm you feared has already been dismantled. God says, you are safe. You are protected. You are surrounded by angels. Nothing will go wrong with you. Nothing will harm you. Trust me. God says that the moment the name is revealed, He will also reveal the blessing attached to this revelation. Something powerful is coming your way because God never exposes without elevating. He never reveals without restoring. He never uncovers without blessing. God says that this season of your life is shifting. You are entering a phase where hidden enemies will be removed and hidden blessings will appear. People who were pretending around you will show their true colors. People who were pretending to support you will distance themselves. People who were secretly competing with you will fail to keep up with your spiritual growth. God says you must not chase anyone. Do not question why someone leaves your life. Do not hold on to connections that drain you. God says, what leaves your life now is not meant to stay. What stays in your life now is divinely assigned. God says the identity of the person who wanted to harm you will not destabilize you. It will empower you. You will realize how strong you truly are. You will see how protected you truly were. You will understand the depth of God's love for you. You will finally breathe with relief because the truth will set your spirit free. God says freedom is coming. Light is coming. Peace is coming. Revelation is coming. Protection is already here. Blessings are already surrounding you. God says to read every word carefully because heaven is speaking directly to your soul. You are not imagining this. You are being guided. You are being watched over. You are being lifted. God says to trust Him completely today. Something is shifting in your favor. Something is moving silently behind the scenes. Something is unlocking that was stuck for years. God says that the same person who wanted to harm you will be removed from your path in a way that feels peaceful, natural, and effortless. You will not have to fight. You will not have to confront. You will not have to explain yourself. God says, I am handling it. I am removing them. I am protecting you. I am covering you. I will never let harm touch you. God says that tonight before 11:55 p.m., expect a sign, a message, a feeling, a name rising in your mind. You will know. Trust that knowing. You are safe. God is with you. Nothing will go wrong with you. You are protected, blessed, and surrounded by heaven's light. God says, trust me and pray to me. I am here. I am not leaving you. I am guiding you into a new chapter where no weapon formed against you will prosper. God says this message is coming to you in the most urgent hour because the spiritual realm has been waiting for the exact moment when your heart would be ready to receive the truth that has been circulating around you for far longer than you realized. God says, I order you to open this now because the message that is being delivered to you carries weight, carries revelation, carries protection, and carries the light that is meant to surround your life in a way that nothing else has before. God says that you are not reading this by accident, nor did you arrive here casually. You were guided, you were pulled, you were drawn by something divine that has been whispering your name in every moment when you felt like something was unseen yet watching over you. God says it is an emergency not because your life is in danger, but because your destiny is shifting, and what has been hidden from you spiritually must finally come to the surface so that you are no longer confused, no longer blindsided, no longer walking through shadows that were placed around you by people who never fully understood the power of your calling. God says He has seen every tear you wiped in silence, every night you questioned yourself, every moment you wondered why certain people kept appearing in your life holding intentions that were never as pure as the way you treated them. God says He is exposing this now because He is tired of seeing you protected quietly while you still believe that the battles around you are random. They are not random. God says, someone has been working against your peace in subtle ways, and though they could never touch your destiny, they have tried to disturb your spirit, cloud your mind, and drain your energy. God says, the identity of this person who wants to harm you spiritually, emotionally, or energetically is finally being revealed. God says you must open your eyes because certain signs were shown to you repeatedly, but your heart, soft, forgiving, and pure, refused to accept the truth. God says the name of this energy, the identity of this presence, is someone who carries jealousy, someone who carries insecurity, someone who carries resentment toward the light that shines naturally from you. Their name in the spiritual sense is not one you will read on a piece of paper, not one you will see as a familiar face, but a name that represents the energy of someone who masked themselves as a supporter while silently resenting your glow. God says the identity revealed to you is the one who pretends. This is the name heaven gives to those who smile publicly but hide their true feelings privately. God says this person has watched your blessings forming and thought that by doubting you, by speaking against you in their mind, by wishing your progress would slow down, they could somehow rise above you. But God says they failed every single time because every arrow they released spiritually was returned to sender before it could touch you. God says the reason He is revealing this now is because a shift is coming before tonight, before 11:55 p.m., and your spiritual atmosphere must be clear. God says you have been carrying unnecessary guilt, unnecessary attachment, and unnecessary loyalty toward people who never carried the same level of purity for you. God says He is stepping in now, clearing the path, exposing the intention, and opening your eyes so you are not caught off guard in this next season of elevation. God says something big is coming your way, something you prayed for, something you waited for, something that felt delayed but never denied, and the moment this blessing arrives, the person whose energy was trying to interfere will no longer have access to your life, not emotionally, not mentally, not spiritually. God says you are safe. Nothing will go wrong with you. You are protected beyond what you can see with your physical eyes. God says angels have been placed at all four corners of your life, standing guard, watching over your steps, watching over your decisions, watching over your home, watching over your spirit. God says every time you felt sudden heaviness, sudden fear, sudden confusion, it wasn't because something bad was coming for you. It was because He was stopping something bad that was aimed at you. God says He intercepted it before it reached you. He blocked it before it touched you. He erased it before you ever had to fight it. God says this message must reach you today because your season is shifting tonight. God says He has already written in heaven that before 11:55 p.m. today, a spiritual door will close behind you, a door that once allowed the wrong energy to linger near your path. God says when that door closes, you will feel lighter, freer, more aligned, and more aware than ever before. You will feel the difference inside your spirit because what was pulling at you, draining you, confusing you, will suddenly disappear. God says you will wake up tomorrow with a new level of clarity, as though a fog has been lifted from your eyes. God says He has been trying to guide you toward this moment for a long time. He has been waiting for you to finally listen, finally open, finally trust that His messages are not random, not symbolic, not metaphors, they are literal protection being delivered to you. God says the only reason this message feels urgent is because He doesn't want you to carry this energy for another day. God says He needs you to release the attachment, release the guilt, release the confusion, and accept that some people around you wear masks so convincingly that even your heart couldn't detect the truth. God says, you must trust Him now. Trust that the name He revealed, the one who pretends, will be removed quietly, peacefully, and divinely from your path. God says you will not have to confront them, argue with them, expose them, or defend yourself. God says He will handle it. He says the spiritual realm is already moving. He says that by tonight, the energy that once watched you with jealousy will be blocked from interfering with your blessings. God says you will feel a sudden break in the atmosphere. A sudden shift in your intuition, and a sudden sense of relief that you cannot explain. That will be the sign that He has acted. God says He is speaking directly to your heart right now. He says He knows you are tired. He knows you have been carrying far more than you admit. He knows you love deeply, trust deeply, forgive deeply, and try to see the best in everyone. God says that is exactly why He protects you so fiercely. He says He is tired of seeing people mistake your kindness for weakness. He says He is stepping in because your heart deserves rest, your soul deserves peace, and your life deserves blessings untouched by envy. God says tonight is a turning point. Tonight marks the end of a cycle where people could take advantage of your softness. Tonight is the beginning of a chapter where your spiritual shield becomes unbreakable. God says He is removing every person whose energy has secretly wished against your progress. God says He is elevating you beyond the reach of people who misunderstand the purpose He has given you. God says you are walking into a new spiritual dimension where only truth, love, loyalty, protection, and divine alignment can follow you. God says He is proud of you. He says you survived attacks you never knew happened behind the scenes. He says you healed from wounds you weren't responsible for. He says you kept faith even when you couldn't see the path ahead. God says your endurance touched heaven. Your prayers moved angels. Your persistence broke barriers. God says you must hear this clearly. No one can stop what He is about to do in your life. Not jealousy. Not envy. Not doubt. Not fear. Not hidden intentions. God says He has already decided your breakthrough. He has already prepared your blessing. He has already completed the miracle. All you have to do is trust Him, stay at peace, pray, and walk forward without fear. God says, open your heart before 11:55 p.m. tonight and allow this message to settle into your spirit. God says you are safe. You are protected. You are guided. You are watched over. Nothing will go wrong with you. The shift is happening now. The blessing is coming. And the one who pretended, the one whose spirit worked against yours, will never touch your path again. God says this message reaches you at the exact moment it is meant to. You are not reading this by chance, and you are not opening this out of curiosity. You have been guided, called, and pulled into this moment by a divine force that has been watching over you long before you even understood what was unfolding behind the scenes of your life. God says that this moment is sacred, and He has chosen you to receive this urgent revelation because time is moving quickly, and the window to act, understand, and protect your destiny is open only for a short while. God says He is ordering you to open this. Not because you are weak or in danger, but because you are chosen, protected, and deeply loved. This is an emergency message not to frighten you, but to awaken you before tonight at 11:55 p.m., because something is being revealed that will shift the direction of your entire journey. God says you have been surrounded by blessings that have been preparing to enter your life, but at the same time, there has been confusion, shadows, and hidden intentions moving around you without your awareness. God says the divine realm has been watching these movements closely, observing the energy of people around you. Some people celebrated you, some respected you, some misunderstood you, and some pretended to stand with you while quietly carrying thoughts that do not match the kindness you have shown them. God says that He has protected you in every moment, even when you did not know there was something to be protected from. You were never alone for even 1 second. Archangel Michael has stood near you, covering you with spiritual safety, and God says that now is the moment to reveal something that has been kept hidden to preserve your peace until the right time. God says the right time is now. The identity of the person who has been trying to disturb your path, confuse your blessings, or interfere with your peace is being revealed. Not to scare you, not to trouble you, and not to place worry on your heart, but to give you clarity. God says clarity is protection. Knowing the truth is safety. Awareness is strength. And He has waited until this exact day, this exact hour, and this exact breath you are taking right now to uncover it to you, because you are spiritually ready for this truth. Your soul has matured, your faith has grown, and your heart has been strengthened enough to receive what you could not have handled earlier. God says that He has shielded you until this moment, and now He removes the veil gently, lovingly, and with His divine presence surrounding you. God says the name is coming to you because you must know it to understand why certain situations felt strange, why some conversations felt heavy, why your intuition whispered to you in quiet moments, and why your spirit felt a shift when this person entered your energy. God says your intuition was not wrong. You were sensing something that heaven already knew. You were feeling something your soul recognized even before your mind could explain it. But now, God says, you deserve the full truth, spoken clearly, revealed openly, and delivered without hesitation. This message is heaven's way of handing you the transparency you deserve. God says the person whose name is being revealed is someone you may have trusted at one point, or someone you believed wished you well, or someone who stayed near you with intentions that were not aligned with the goodness you carry. God says He has watched this from a distance, and He has never allowed any real harm to come near you. You are His chosen one, and nothing has the power to break the destiny He has written for you. But He says you must open your heart to this truth. this person's energy was never meant to stay in your life. They were meant to be temporary, a lesson, an awakening, and a moment of clarity. Not a permanent presence. God says the name begins to form spiritually around you right now because the divine realm wants to free your spirit from confusion. God says the name is Nandita. God says say this name slowly in your mind, not with fear, not with anger, but with understanding. God says this name is being revealed because you must release the energy connected to it. God says this name has been connected to delays in your journey, misunderstandings around your blessings, and emotional disturbance that did not belong to you. God says this person's intentions were not strong enough to harm you, but their thoughts were not aligned with your light. God says He is showing you this so you may understand who does not deserve access to your heart, your plans, your dreams, or your future. God says this name has been interfering with your spiritual flow, not because they had power over you, but because their energy reacted to your radiance. God says some people cannot stand the purity of your soul, the grace on your life, or the blessings that follow you. Some people feel uncomfortable when you shine because your light exposes the shadows they carry within themselves. God says this person carried envy not because of what you have, but because of who you are. Because your presence alone is powerful. Because your heart is clean. Because your spirit is chosen. God says you must remember this clearly. The divine realm has never allowed their intentions to succeed, and they never will. Not even once. Every plan made against you has dissolved before reaching you. Every thought sent your way has been blocked. Every attempt to interfere with your blessings has been reversed. God says He has been watching over you day and night, preserving you, guiding you, and keeping you safe even when you were unaware anything needed protection. God says you might have felt moments of confusion recently or emotional heaviness that you couldn't explain. That was not your energy. It was the energetic residue of someone thinking about you with mixed intentions. God says you are sensitive spiritually, so you feel things even before they appear physically. God says He allowed you to feel it lightly only so you could recognize the shift when He removes that energy completely after you read this message. God says by opening this message, you have activated divine cleansing. God says your path is now clear. Your spirit is now free. Your blessings are now protected with a new layer of divine light. And the connection to the name revealed is dissolving from your destiny. God says He needs you to breathe slowly now. He needs your heart to settle. He needs your mind to accept that this revelation is not meant to disrupt you but to empower you. You are stepping into a higher season, and God says this truth is the final key needed before the door opens fully. God says something powerful is coming your way in the next few days, something that will show you why He needed to reveal this now. A breakthrough, a message, a blessing, or a moment of clarity that will change everything. God says you were never supposed to enter this next season with the wrong energy attached to you. That is why He revealed the name Nandita today. That is why He ordered you to open this before 11:55 p.m. That is why He is standing with you right now. God says you are safe. Nothing will go wrong with you. No presence, no thought, no energy, and no intention has the ability to shake the foundation He has built beneath your feet. God says you must trust Him deeply, pray to Him sincerely, and understand that everything He does is for your elevation. You are not losing anything. You are being freed. You are not being warned because harm is near. You are being informed because blessings are near. God says He has opened your eyes today so your heart can walk into tomorrow with strength, purity, and alignment. God says the energy around you is shifting right now, dissolving every interference, clearing every path, and preparing you for peaceful change. God says He is with you. And He has never left you alone, not for a second, not for a minute, not for a single breath. God says breathe, trust, and walk into the next hours with confidence. Heaven is watching over you. Your blessings are unfolding. And tonight, before 11:55 p.m., a shift in your spirit will confirm everything you have read. God says this is an urgent moment and you are being guided to open this message right now because the heavens have been stirring, watching, observing everything surrounding you, and today a revelation that has been hidden from you for a very long time is finally being brought into the light. God says He is not speaking casually, He is not speaking softly, He is not speaking in a distant whisper. He is speaking directly to your soul with divine force. He wants you to know that this message is not appearing by coincidence, it is not showing up by chance, and it is not happening because of luck. It is happening because something major has shifted around your life and God needs to warn you before tonight at 11:55 p.m. so that you are protected, safe, and aligned with His shield. God is saying that for a long time you have felt that something was off, something was not fully right, something around you felt like an invisible pressure that you could never fully explain. You felt eyes watching you, you felt someone's energy attempting to influence your peace, and you felt a spiritual heaviness that did not come from your own heart. God says this is because someone, a specific person, has been holding an intention toward you that is not pure, and heaven has been observing this individual silently. God is now revealing the identity because the time of hiding is over. No one can conceal the truth from God, and no secret can stay locked when God decides to bring it forward. God says that today is the moment your clarity arrives, your protection intensifies, and your awareness becomes sharp. The person who has been trying to work against your peace is someone whose presence in your life once felt harmless, maybe familiar, maybe even friendly. This person carries a name that has floated around your memories before. Someone whose energy shifted toward you the moment they began to envy your growth, your potential, your destiny. God says their name is being released to you spiritually because you deserve to know who has been whispering against you in the shadows. God is revealing that this person's name begins to echo in the spiritual realm even before you finish reading this sentence. Their name is known in heaven, their intention is known in heaven, and their actions have reached a point where God had to step in and stop them. The identity heaven shows is the name Nisha. God says this name has been circling around you through intuition, through moments of sudden thought, through unexpected reminders. You may have pushed it away or ignored it because you could not believe that this person would think this way about you. But God says your spirit picked it up before your mind understood it. This message is reaching you urgently because God does not want you to fear, He wants you to be prepared and spiritually aware. Nothing will go wrong with you, you are safe, you are protected, you are surrounded by divine angels that are already standing around you. God says you have passed through many storms that should have shaken you, but you remain strong. You have walked away from situations that others could not escape. You have survived moments that were meant to break you. Because of this, your spiritual strength has elevated to a level where the enemy becomes frustrated, confused, and desperate. That desperation is what made this person think negatively about you. But God has intercepted their intention. God has blocked their influence. God has already wiped out the plans they tried to create in secret. God says you are not reading this message by accident. A spiritual alert was released around you, and heaven has been trying to get your attention. You may have felt restless, you may have felt sudden thoughts of reflection, or you may have felt a quiet push urging you to read something meaningful today. That was God guiding you toward this message. He wants you to know that your intuition has been correct all along. And the false mask that someone has been wearing is now falling off completely. God says this person Nisha has not been able to understand why your life continues to gain divine favor. They cannot understand why you rise again and again even when circumstances should have made you give up. They do not understand why every setback in your life becomes a testimony. God says this confusion comes because you walk with divine support. Every step you take is protected. Every breath you take carries purpose. Every moment of your journey is surrounded by angelic presence. This person saw your glow but did not understand that your glow comes from God, not from the world. And because they cannot dim what God has lit, they turn toward discouraging thoughts about you. God says, breathe deeply, because even now, heaven is calming your spirit. God is assuring you that no negativity can touch you. No plan can succeed against you, and no intention can block your blessings. He wants to remind you that you were chosen long before you knew you were chosen. You were marked with divine protection before you even entered this world. The places you survived, the battles you overcame, the breakthroughs that followed your pain, these were all signs that heaven has always been on your side. God says this person's intention has been exposed so that you can walk with clarity, not confusion. God wants you to understand that He is not revealing this name to make you afraid. He is revealing it because knowledge brings strength, awareness brings protection, and truth brings freedom. You are stepping into a season where nothing can be hidden from you anymore. God is lifting the veil, He is removing every illusion, He is breaking every false connection, and He is ensuring that only those who are meant to walk with you will remain. God says your blessing is too close for any interference. The miracle that heaven has already prepared for you is drawing near. The breakthrough you have prayed for is forming around you even now. This is why you needed to read this message before tonight at 11:55 p.m., because there is a divine alignment taking place, and your spirit needs to be in the right place of awareness and readiness. God will never let anything reach you without first giving you a sign, a warning, or a whisper. That is what this message is, a divine whisper that has turned into a divine announcement. God says that after reading this, you will notice subtle shifts in your energy, in your thoughts, in your surroundings. You will feel lighter, more clear, more aware. You will feel a release from something you didn't even know was affecting you. That is because the moment you read the identity, heaven removed the spiritual influence this person tried to attach to your life. God broke it instantly. God dismantled it immediately. God erased it completely. God says the coming days will show you signs of restoration, peace, and unexpected blessings. You will notice that conversations will change, connections will adjust, opportunities will open. You will see that your life suddenly moves smoother, as though an invisible weight has been lifted. This is heaven confirming that the revelation was necessary for your next chapter. God says trust Him. Trust that you are safe. Trust that what is unfolding is for your highest good. Trust that He has gone ahead of you and cleared every path. Trust that you are not alone for even a second. Trust that angels walk with you, surround you, and guard you wherever you go. Trust that every negative intention sent toward you has already been transformed into divine protection. God says now is the moment to breathe, pray, and release any fear. You are not in danger. You are not threatened. You are not exposed. You are covered by the most powerful protection in existence, His protection. God says nothing will go wrong with you. Nothing will collapse. Nothing will break. Nothing will fall apart. You are safe. You are guarded. You are protected. God says tonight at 11:55 p.m., a spiritual shift completes itself, and once it does, you will feel a strong sense of peace wash over your entire body. You will feel clarity in your spirit. You will feel certainty in your heart. You will feel direction in your mind. God has aligned everything for your good. God says trust Him and pray. You are blessed, you are safe, and your miracle is closer than it has ever been.